Hey, I'm back at my Thunder Laser Aurora 20 fiber laser today, messing around making some more coins. In the past I've made some coins out of defacing US currency, but this time I'm going to start from scratch. My buddy Tad runs a metal shop down the street. He's the guy that makes my squares over at squaretools.com. And I asked him to save me some drops, and he came up with these perfect little, about 1-inch aluminum drops from a job he was working on. And they're not perfect, they're a little imperfect, but they're perfect for me to make a bunch of coins. But what kind of coin should I make? I don't want to just make some like challenge coin or some self-promoting kind of thing. I wanted to make something that would maybe be more helpful and useful to other creators and people in the world at large. I've been doing the internet thing a while, and I've been an artist since long before the internet even existed, so it's really great for me to have this space in the social media platform where I can share my work, and I love getting all the likes and the shares and the subscriptions and stuff. It's great. But the one problem I continue to have is every time I take all those likes and I try to buy like some new socks or some food, I really have a problem with the conversion. That'll be $3.99, sir. I'm an influencer. I had 146 likes on my last Instagram post. That's super. That'll still be $3.99, sir. And another problem in the social media age is, I regret that I have but just one like to give to this video. But I think I've come up with a solution. Move over, Bitcoin. I have something that's only slightly less worthless than you. It's the like coin. Now we're no longer limited to only liking things online. We can like things in person too. Let me show you how I made them. First, I sorted through all the drops I got from Tad because there were a couple different sizes. And then I designed my coins in my Vectric software, transferring my designs to Lightburn to run the laser. I can't show you all of that for the same reason the US Mint doesn't share its currency moles, but I can show you my settings in Lightburn. Here they are. I ran the toolpath 2 times on each side of the aluminum to get the desired 3D effect. I wanted to make it easy to print these fast, so I set up this jeweler's jig to where I could simply drop in the coin and have it automatically be centered, and then flip it over and have it line up on both sides. And this worked okay. I messed around with a couple ways to finish them, and just a light sanding did the best to keep the contrast but then make it look better. I felt like I could do better than that jeweler's jig, so I used these plastic pieces to make a template, and then I cut from brass just 2 very basic pieces of metal that I was able to bolt down to my Aurora 20 in a V shape so I could just slide the coins into position. There's a little bit of play in it, but it doesn't matter because when you push this in, if you push it down, it just pushes the play away, and that's where it's always going to go. And you can see this is where it was, where that circle is, and now I just need to line up that circle right over this. And then we'll be good to go and try it that way. Pretty close. I think I just need to go down. That looks pretty much dead on. Let's give that a whirl. This setup worked a lot better, and it's also more versatile to quickly and easily make other size circles too. Because stay tuned, I got some other coins coming up in a minute. Really close. Just go back and to the left. Even after I got my jig pretty perfectly aligned, some of the coins are still a little bit off-centered because these are drops, so they were not cut to be perfect circles, and some of them were a little off. Just another little tiny nudge up and it'll be perfect, I think. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Perfectly centered. Let's keep them coming. But most are spot on. Each side took about 6 minutes to cut, so it's about 12 minutes to make each one of these coins, which is a little bit time consuming, but I don't have to babysit the machine. I can just let it run and do other things. Yeah, real happy with this. A lot better than the other thing. I would like to take a minute to thank Thunder Laser for continuing to support my work. Yes, this video is sponsored by them, and as many of you know, I rarely do sponsored content. In fact, this is, I think, the only sponsored video I have happening this year. But I proudly endorse and sponsor Thunder Laser because I've been working with them for years, and they make great tools that do great work. I've had this Nova 35 for several years now, and this thing is, as you can see from today's video, it's quite literally like printing money running these machines. The customer support is top-notch. The quality of the machines are top-notch. These things are sometimes running like literally all day. I've had this machine running day after day to make the coins that I made for this video, and this thing, I mean, this thing has paid for itself 7 times over now. Just great tools, great company, great people. Thunder Laser, thank you so much. Let's get back to making some fake money. proper currencies have more than one unit, right? Like in America, we have the penny, the nickel, the dime, and the quarter. So I thought I should make some other forms of currency too. Besides the like, which is probably the base, like the cent or the penny, I made these share coins too. So if the like coin is like a nickel, the share coin is like a dime, because when you share content, it's obviously going to be worth more than just liking it. Oh, by the way, you can go ahead and tell me in the comments how I'm wrong about Bitcoin and how great it is. I won't read it, but you can go ahead and write that in the comments. Like I mentioned at the beginning, my artistic career actually predates the internet. So back before you had to work for likes and shares, we used to work for this thing called exposure. Exposure. And just the mention of that word has made a whole bunch of my artist and musician friends watching this just shudder at the thought. Let's face it, we've all been told that maybe the gig didn't pay, but to think of the exposure we would get out of it and how valuable that would be to us as we're pursuing our artistic career. I mean, if you love doing it so much, why do you need to make money to do it? Can't you just do it for the love? Tell you what, if I had a real nickel for all the exposures I got over the years, I probably wouldn't still be here humping on the internet trying to make likes and shares. Am I right? But fear not, we can cash in on the exposures now with this beautiful 5 exposures coin. I mean, that's got to be worth at least 3 likes, right? I made these beautiful 5 exposure coins from the same aluminum drops as the other coins. And get this a little x-ray of a skull on the front. That's my actual skull. I got my head x-rayed by my local orthodontist who was really cool about it. And I paid them actual cash for this exposure. But we all know how valuable exposure really is. I mean, it's pretty valuable, right? So I wanted to make a coin that reflected the weight and the value of getting exposed for your artistic creations. So I came up with these stainless steel discs I had cut over at sendcutSend.com. And so these are like a heavier, more valuable metal. And I made these 10 and 25 exposure coins out of them. Now these are very limited edition, and they come with these little stands that I cut on my other Thunder Laser, my 100-watt Thunder Laser Nova 35. All of these coins are available to you over at newperspectivesmusic.com for a pretty fair exchange rate. I hope you enjoyed this video a lot, and if you did, please like and share it, because that way I can get more exposure, and that's what all of us artists need to survive anyways, is just more exposure. We really appreciate it. I can't think of a better way to support an artist. I mean, I guess you could buy some of their art, but well, let's not get carried away. You know, I'm sure the exposure I get from this is going to be immense, and I'm going to be rich in exposure. So thank you very much.